Yes, I am.
All right. Call a meeting to order for the Town of Vernon Supervisors for January 4th, 2018, 6 p.m. All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Thomas Byrd.
Present.
Supervisor Jeff Millies.
Present.
Supervisor Gary Wildy.
Present.
Supervisor Ed Moline.
Present.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you do have a quorum of your board present.
The meeting is law compliance.
Mr. Chairman, the agenda was posted inside and outside the Vernon Town Hall to the media, to other businesses within the Town of Vernon on the Town of Vernon website. As a courtesy, you're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
Public comments. Are there any public comments?
Hi, I'm
Would
gonna
you come up and just state your name and your address and...
okay. Hi, my name is Jeff Jaywitz. I'm kind of a new resident here. I moved in a year ago, September. Actually, I bought the house then, but we didn't move in until March. Did some renovating. Address is West 235 South 7675 Vernon Hills Drive.
Okay. And what do you want to talk to us about?
Well, I wanted to bring to the board's attention, and you guys probably all know Ed and I have been talking, and so this would be the best way to present it, is that since you guys split apart from the, and to back up here, I'm a retired firefighter, so I know a little bit about the fire department and about insurances and stuff like that. So anyways, with buying a new house and other stuff, with things happening, I noticed with my insurance that you guys are still listed as Big Bend Fire Department. It was never separated yet. You guys still have ISO rating of 7, which is costing all the people in the town more money on their insurances and also in our taxes, because everything we insure for the town is we're paying more for. So what I would like to know is in simple, easy words, is why since 2010 that the fire chief didn't take upon himself to make the changes to ask for a field survey from ISO, Insurance Service Operations, to have us, or separate us properly, and to get our ISO rating higher, which would help all of us for, money-wise.
I think I can handle some of that, not probably all of it, because I don't want to speak for the chief, but we've been putting together, as you know, we don't have many hydrants. We've got these, some subdivision have buried water sources, meaning they'll have a cistern that we can pump out in the town's right of way that we can pump out of. And we haul water pretty much for everything.
Yeah, your tanker system.
Yeah. What we've been doing with the newer trucks that we bought, we've got a 15, a 25, and now our last one we bought is 3,000 gallons. So we've been working on to haul water for the first initial attack when we first get a fire call out on that. Okay, and the rest of our Mavis call partners that we do for mutual aid, or when we get a real working fire, they have a Mavis system. You're familiar with that. We're working with them, and we're making sure that the water, we have sufficient enough water that's pulled. And then right away, we've got the tankers. If we've got a real working fire, we've got a system to put together with the chief. And if you wanted to contact the chief and talk to him about that, feel free to. They would do that.
You have, right?
I have, and I don't want to throw stones, but the chief, I don't feel is being honest with me. If you want me to be upfront with you, I contacted the chief And like they said, I didn't expect this. I was told that we weren't probably gonna have a discussion about this thing. But I contacted the chief about this. And what brought this all to a head is that when I came in to pay my taxes, you know, I saw Karen, and I mentioned to Karen, I says, well, according to the chief said that we have a meeting set up at ISO in 2018. And that's what the chief relayed to me. So when I saw Karen, I relayed that message to her, and she says, well, according to what the chief told her, is that he worked everything out with me. Well, who am I? I'm just a concerned citizen that brought something to the attention of them. And to be frank with you, the chief told me when I first talked to him that he contacted ISO 2011, 2013, and 2015. You don't contact ISO. You go on their website, and Ed did it himself. You print out the booklet that you need to do. There's it's 5 questions that you have to fill out and get a new field survey. And then once you get that all put into ISO, they'll come out and do a new field survey. So I'm not saying the chief ain't doing his job, but he's missing the boat on this one, and he's costing everybody in the town more money. Because even though, like, I understand that the chief is updating equipment and doing stuff with equipment, but our ISO rating should be probably at least 2 higher. If not, it should have went up at least 1 higher as soon as you guys split off and went to a part-time department. It doesn't always, I know enough about, the fire department that, first of all, Big Ben is all volunteer. You're part-time. You have, paramedics on duty. You have the, updated equipment. I mean, you could have an ISO rating maybe up 2 higher instead of a 7. That you could be a 5, and that could save, like, on me on an average home, roughly I have 300. When I bought the house, $340,000. That's going to save me $100 a year just on insurance. That's not saying plus what the tax rate, with all the other stuff that we're, doing. So there's a lot of things that ISO takes into initiate, full-time, part-time, volunteer, how many tankers you got, backup tankers, what's your support groups like, but you guys aren't part-time or volunteer. You're part-time, and that would raise it at least 1 automatic. So I'm just saying what upsets me and why I brought this to Ed's attention was the chief kind of, I'm going to say, just, I know if it was trying to blow me off, I know I'm not trying to be too blunt or what, but I'm not one that, when this costs me more money, I'm not going to leave things settle down, especially for everybody in the town of Vernon. So that's my whole point, that the chief should have been pushing this, or even somebody on his staff. You guys were paying the chief, we're paying assistant chief. Why ain't they doing their job? I mean, I had to do my job when I was on the fire department. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention that we are still labeled in the insurance service operation as Big Bend Fire Department. Everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other public comments?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, no other public comments, miscellaneous matters. Item A, resolution 2018-1A, resolution to approve 2018 wages for the town of Vernon employees. All right. I'll read here. Town of Vernon Resolution 2018-1, a resolution to establish salaries for the town employees effective January 1. Whereas the town employees have no control of the wages set forth for them, and whereas the town board of the town of Vernon has the power to change the amount of wages for frequent, and whereas setting the salaries for the employees for resolution eliminates the expense and confusion of frequent salary adjustments. Be it therefore resolved by the town board of the town of Vernon that the following salaries shall be effective January 1, 2018 for all part-time employees, personnel, and with payroll payments being made bi-weekly. I'm glad you put that in there. Madam Clerk. And then it goes down the list. Anybody wants to see the list,
It's posted.
it'll be posted. Comments from the supervisors.
No, this incorporates the new stipends from the fire
Nope.
chief?
No, it does not. I don't know if you read the email
I
from the assistant chief. There'll be another resolution at the next board meeting that reflects the new stipends just for the fire department.
Okay.
But as the chief stated, the assistant chief stated, he did not want those stipends going into effect for the first payroll, but it would be applicable to the second. So
Okay.
you'll see another resolution just reflecting those stipends increases.
Thank you.
Do we want to refer to everything as salaries, because it's mostly hourly? Should we say wages and salaries? The third, be it resolved by the town board of the town of Vernon that the following salaries shall be in effect. Should we be saying wages and salaries? Because most of
Everybody
it,
gets paid overtime, that's wage.
Just put salary/wages.
Yeah, typically you don't
Something
pay
like that.
salaries overtime.
And that issue was researched extensively, the salary, I mean, just so, because the attorney questioned that.
We really have both, so,
I mean, I don't have any problem.
yeah.
Yeah, it's our resolution.
I'll just retype it.
So is there a motion
so moved.
with that change? With that change?
I'll second it.
Any more comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, request to open a quick trip Chase credit card for the fire chief. Madam Clerk?
The chief indicated he would like permission from the board to open a Quick Trip credit card for a specific fuel. Supervisor Moline indicated the type of fuel that the fire department needs for some equipment that we don't have here. And quite often, things are purchased from Quick Trip for their refreshments or their...
Snacks.
Right, so they were asking if the chief was asking the board's consideration on Quick Trip. He also is requesting a different credit card, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they will not raise his limit any higher than $500. And it's based upon your income.
$500 for
That's his limit,
on,
his credit card.
This personal credit card?
No, the town one.
That doesn't make sense, it's based on your income. His income's higher than yours, isn't
And my card's like 5 times the...
it?
Yeah,
I think
speaking of
somebody has to call the
that,
credit
speaking
card
of that,
company to
Ed.
find out what's going on.
No, so I mean, that's his issue. I tried calling the credit card. I don't know what the issue is, but they will not, they won't raise his limit any higher than $500. I don't know his personal financing,
well,
but,
that's the minimum.
yeah, but he's requested, I questioned if he could get a higher limit. Right now, they limit it to $1,500 on,
And that's from Capital One?
yeah, that's the current card, yes.
Why does he need more than $500?
Yeah, I don't think a few bills are over 5, would it?
Well, I had used my credit card to buy fuel at Quick Trip.
Remember how much it was?
The fuel was maybe, they filled the 2 Tahoes, so what, $100?
Oh, they weren't filling one of the tankers
No,
or anything?
no, and they did
No, we get the
change.
diesel down here, that's for the lead and gas.
No,
We don't have
no,
leaded-
this is for regular, the pipes were frozen, they couldn't,
Oh,
the lock was frozen, we got a new lock, but they couldn't get into the gas.
So we don't have, trying to think of, urea, has to be used in the trucks.
we don't have any trucks with that, that's the reason lighted that one because.
Then our gas is the same as what you get.
Yeah, there's something, you can ask the chief, there's some type of fuel that's needed for some new equipment that we don't have. We have
New
diesel and
equipment
gas.
requires urea in diesels.
I don't
Unless
know.
you got a new diesel.
We should ask him.
No,
Well,
Yeah, I'd like,
Because he's probably gonna, should we table it till he comes to the next meeting?
What?
He's gonna come to the next meeting because he'll have that.
Let's table this until we
yeah.
talk to him.
Karen, I made that assumption based on knowledge of what to do with urea. When we looked at, doing things with new trucks with DPW and all, we tried to stay away from it and get an old truck as long as we could because that was an extra expense with the urea.
Well,
But
and
we
he told-
didn't wanna get involved.
He told me there's some fuel that he needs
Yeah,
that we
he's
don't
gotta
have.
identify what that is, cause
I'd make a
Makes
motion.
no
to
sense.
table it.
All right, I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Put in the minutes that, we need more information.
Okay.
Thank you. Item C, spring newsletter.
There were a couple changes made, especially the first, we added the resident. I also changed, I reflected the language in my narrative in regards to open book. So we took out the requirement. There's a few small typos that we're still working on, and if any board member has any typos or suggestions, if you could get into us by Monday morning, we'd be happy to make any changes. And I'll get you the new dates. You guys can all write articles for the next newsletter.
It was really a good job for a rough draft.
yeah, I read it, didn't find anything wrong with it, so.
Yeah, Tammy does a good job. We did correct just so you know, in your version, the old fee schedule on the engineering and stuff, there's a couple tweaks I want to do on plan commission timing, but we'll correct all that, so it's...
That's what you sent an email out on.
Yeah, just so that you know, we'll incorporate the new fees from our surveyor and planner and... Tom, did you want the director of, did you want Tom we don't use him very often, but do you want his wage reflected on the charges? Usually when we have to pull him and we let the petitioner know we're gonna have to call in a higher level of engineering.
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Put it in?
Almost raised an issue here one time, when he did involve something, I remember sitting in on it.
And,
But
So,
we should
whatever
have
you
it
tell them
on
up
there so
front.
that people know
yeah,
what it is. that
director of
they're off to do
operations,
there.
okay. I just wanted to check. But if there's anything else,
Were
please.
they changing the contract with us this year because of the lack of ad sales to a smaller newsletter or less frequent?
No, initially, this year, they said that, they made that distinction that they were gonna do that, and I reminded them that we have a contract with you, and then they retracted. They said at any time if we wanna make it smaller, we could, but this was as a real important newsletter for the rec department. So we wanted to make sure that it gets out quickly so people have time, because believe it or not, between the emails, the broadcast emails and the newsletter, that's where he gets all his publicity for. So, and Mike had his information in first, he was right on time. Everything was perfect, ready to go.
Any other comments on the newsletter? Is there a motion?
I had more of a question,
Go ahead.
and I'm gonna keep it vague for obvious reasons, but if we discuss in the newsletter services provided, does that bind us if down the road, several months from now, we feel there's a reason to change that service in some way? I can't be any more specific at this point, it just,
We could put a little disclaimer saying.
in other words, are we committing ourselves for the calendar year by stating we're providing certain services?
We could asterisk that and say by town board, by current town board ordinance or resolution, these are the current, we could asterisk that. That way, if the board chooses to change their mind, and we could also reflect them to look at the town website that has the most current ordinances and laws, we could do that. Would that-
I would be very much in favor of that.
Is that okay?
Subject to change at any time.
Is that okay,
by the
Tim?
board.
Subject to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Everything in the
good.
newsletter is subject to change.
Put that in there.
Newsletter. I got a question. We put that newsletter out 4 times a year. How much longer is the contract? Is it a 3-year contract?
I
This is
think,
the 3rd year?
I'd have to look, I'll try to
They
look at
pretty
it.
much wanted to walk if we didn't continue it, right?
Well, I'm just saying, the reason we put that out 4 times is because of the rec.
Right.
Let them do their own.
No.
And we
Twice a
still
year.
pay for it,
Yeah.
let him put it on his own.
Do we really, is there that much information that goes out 4 times a year for a newsletter from the town?
Oh,
Other than the park and rec? I'm not saying, I'm just talking out loud here, I'm just thinking.
Well, I don't think it needs to be this many pages. We could condense
Well, it's
some
something
of
to
the
think
stuff on
about.
Park and Rec.
Yeah.
It's something
Because
to
we
think
made it
about.
bigger for Park and Rec.
Right.
in the
Can-
beginning.
Karen,
Well, they needed
Can you look
certain
at that?
times
Can you
because
look
of the
at that?
scheduling.
Sure.
Yep,
Yeah.
2000.
Research the contract and also how much it cost us?
But the only thing we pay for,
Page-wise.
it wouldn't cost us anything. The rec department picks up the extra tab because the rec department was the department that asked us to amend the contract to have it come out
Right.
so many times a year.
Mm-hmm.
So they pick up, it's like $1,700 a year, but otherwise it wouldn't cost, well, the postage, the $723, you know,
But Karen, I read the emails you passed along for that publisher,
uh-huh.
and wasn't there something in there where you had to have a certain number of pages,
No.
or they weren't interested in it?
No, we have to have enough pages to support the,
Advertising.
yeah. So it could
Their
go down,
advertising.
yeah, right. It could go down to an 8-page, just as long as we
If
keep.
we drop our portion, just go with the rec department, are we gonna have sufficient number of pages?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay, I just wanna make sure
Right.
that was remembered.
Well, I'm thinking too, you could cut out 4 pages if there's a savings.
Mm-hmm.
Or-
yeah.
I don't remember what the number of pages he
It's
said
gotta be
was.
divisible by 4, I think.
We have
Okay.
20.
Back, yeah, geez.
Well, you know, it's 20 individual pages,
Okay,
but,
double up, yeah.
I mean, if you look at our newsletter compared to a lot of communities, ours
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah,
And a lot of
it's
it,
something to look into.
There's a lot of redundancy.
It's redundant.
Yes, but you know something, even redundancy, there's people that say, why don't you do anything on elections? It's like, really? Sorry.
In every single newsletter.
Sorry, guys.
So, what do you wanna do with this, guys?
I'll make a motion to approve the Town of Vernon newsletter.
I'll second.
Would that change?
Yeah, with that change, thank you.
And then any other typos at the board, you know, just, if you just wanna get it to me by Monday, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
You have a date on when this is gonna get mailed?
If, we'd like to transmit it this week, you know, after we get all the changes, we'd like to transmit this week, and then it goes to the printer, and then it would be out by, way before the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
And Mike wanted out the first of, you know,
Before February 1.
by, yeah, but we'd like to get out as soon as possible.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
Karen, you had said earlier when I talked to you, I believe you, that first paragraph of the newsletter.
Right,
That was resident was that.
yes, yep. We caught that, the attorney caught that one, and we didn't ask him to review it. Right, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, remember he wanted that part of the motion?
Yeah.
We don't need a pre-review.
Is that a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, correspondence. I just brought in here, the Freeman had a article. I'm gonna give this to Karen and have you guys copied on it. It's for local tax increases for Waukesha County. It gives the municipalities And, the town of Merton is, $1.98. Town of Waukesha is $1.92. Let's see here. Town of Eagle is up over us. So we're at 211. So we're a little bit higher than those in there, but we're right in the ballpark with them, within a couple of cents of them. So I just thought it was interesting to gauge whatever. What?
What's Big Ten? Just out of curiosity.
Well, you'll be able to, I don't like to beat up another municipality.
No, I'm just
but
curious. I didn't see that article.
Village of Big Bend is $8.73.
But you wanna, when the Department of Revenue comes out, or Wisconsin Tax, this was done by clerks. Nothing against clerks, but you wanna watch what the Taxpayer Alliance comes out with, because that's the Bible.
That's the Bible, right?
Yeah, because when they,
This is interesting. This was just interesting. I thought you guys might wanna just take a look at it for all
What
municipalities.
paper was that in?
Freeman.
That was in the Freeman.
When? Cause I get the Freeman, I usually go through it pretty good. But I didn't see
That
that.
was,
Research.
2nd of January, Tuesday.
Okay, I still got that. I'll take a look.
I'll run it for you.
Next one tomorrow?
Yeah, that was,
That's all I have for correspondence.
I have nothing.
announcements and reports?
Yeah, no
Okay.
announcements.
I had something, Ed and I attended a meeting with the Department of Transportation, held here at the town hall just before, what was it, right
Yeah.
after Christmas or
Yeah,
before Christmas?
before.
And, in regards to the closing of Crowbar Road, for the bridge overlay, it's going to occur, and it's gonna occur in June for approximately 4 months. There won't be any traffic going across Crowbar from National Avenue or coming the other direction for about 4 months. There's gonna be lots of notices going out. There's gonna be a newsletter being sent to all the residents in that area over there, indicating, where the detours are gonna be. The only thing that might throw a little bit of a wrench into this, they weren't even aware, the Department of Transportation wasn't aware that the city of Muskego is gonna be redoing Crowbar Road in this summer. So they were kind of surprised, I think,
When you told them.
when I told them, hey, Crowbar Road is scheduled for resurfacing. Huh? So I don't know if that will hold us up, but as of right now, Crowbar will be closed for 4 months. Residents will be getting a lot of notice about this. We asked to make sure that the fire department was aware of this, and that's one of the first entities that has to get, because they
I was
need.
kinda shocked they weren't invited to the meeting myself.
Yeah, they should have been here.
Emergency services
Should have been here. But there were about 6 of them from the state were here. Our tax money at work, sending them all around here.
Are they gonna tear that bridge down, or are they gonna just?
No,
resurface
they're
it?
gonna repair it. It's scheduled for a complete overhaul, just like they did up on Hilo and.
Evergreen,
Evergreen, and so it was closed for a significant amount of
Edgewood.
time. So it's gonna cause an inconvenience for a lot of people. But if
On
they're,
top of Beloit Road, remember?
Yeah, Sunny
End to
Slope.
end.
Sunny Slope's also gonna be closed, the bridge over Sunny Slope Road too. That's gonna be,
Too much traffic.
yeah, Sunny Slope 6 months. So, but I just wanted to bring that, we probably can make notice of this, in the coming
The
up
company's gonna
meetings.
give Karen a copy of that.
Yeah, I got the whole paperwork here,
When
Karen.
was that supposed to start, Karen?
June 1st, likely construction starts June 1st, 2018. Completion date, December 15th.
That's tentative too.
That's a tentative, these are all tentative things. There's also gonna be some full-time closures of I-43, during the night like they did for the freeway.
Yeah.
But it won't be that many, but it'll be about 8 or 10 closures where the rock will be closed down completely. Probably like from 10 to 5 or something like that when they do some of these major construction projects on these bridges. But, if we get any more information, we'll pass it along and make sure that, Karen gets proper notice for the website and things like that. But
That's, we put that up on the website as soon
Yeah.
as we can.
Other than that, I think that's about all.
Eddie?
Gary, who's actually funding that? Is it state?
It's a federal and state
So
project.
no local taxes at
Nope.
all?
Nope,
Say anything about
nope, it's all federal and state,
Because
grants.
during the snows here, going up and down Crowbar, I've been wondering, what is our obligation? Do we maintain the South Ave of Crowbar?
No,
We don't have that agreement with Mosquito?
no, what, I talked to John about that,
We plow it, right?
pardon?
We plow it.
We plow,
Yeah.
but Crowbar is even responsible for the ditch on the west side of the road where our residents, because I had a resident ask me about, in certain parts of the ditch, if you notice it's asphalted because of the high water runoff, and that's going to heck, and I wanted to find out if you can, as long as they're gonna be doing that, can they repair that ditch right away, because it's cracked and weeds are growing up through it, it's really in bad state. And, John indicated that he was gonna talk to the people from Mosquito and find out if they would be able to take care of that at the same time, so.
So that repair, we're not involved with either?
Nope.
Okay.
It won't, nope, not at all. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Eddie?
I got two things. And one of them going to go papers, I saw an article, it says get trained in using naloxone, if that's how you pronounce it. Learn the signs of opiate overdose and how naloxone, brand name Narcan, can prevent an accidental death caused by an opioid overdose. All who attend the training will be provided with a free dose of naloxone to take home. Training will be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Tuesday, February 27th at Muskego Public Library at South 73 West 16663 Janesville Road, Muskego. Registration is required, and they give a number. Call the reference desk at 262-971-2100. I just mention as a public service because of the amount of ridiculous drug problems we're having in this area down here. Thought it might be good for people who are interested to sign up and learn about that, maybe save a life. Second item, we had a gentleman up here on public comments, Jeff, and I had a conversation with Jeff, and I'll just fill you in on a couple things. I did talk to the chief after having a discussion with Jeff. I asked Jeff how he identified that we were a Class 7. He got an insurance form that showed, and a letter attached. The letter defines the address is located within Big Bend Fire Department, was in 5 road miles of Station 3, which is Big Bend, obviously, and says the classification of 7 applies. What they keep doing is they keep discussing the Big Bend Fire District. They do not talk about Vernon in this letter until it comes down to fire chief states, and that's our fire chief, states the fire department is Vernon Fire Department versus Big Bend, and says see letter attached. I called Alex and said I'd like to copy the letter. What he does, he gets calls on this several times during the year, I guess. Enough times he's got a form letter on it. And his explanation to me was, the confusion comes because we have 3 different zip codes in the area. One of them's Big Bend, one of them's Muskego, one of them's Waukesha.
We have 5.
We want to go
5.
Waukesha and Big Bend. And what happens is the insurance companies, they look at these in groups, in areas, zones. And they may have picked up Big Bend being the zone with that zip code and said, well, that fire station's in Big Bend. Even though his address is not Big Bend, it's Vernon, his mailing address is Big Bend, I'll bet you, and with that zip code.
Yes.
So that's very confusing to everybody. The chief has tried to explain that to several of the insurance companies, he said, and it's like they just don't get it. So, irregardless of what the insurance companies do, he should be in touch with ISO, and he says he's talked to him. I could not talk to him. I tried. The lady kept telling me, you don't talk to us. You go online, you fill out this form, and this form, you can't, I couldn't do it. Your chief has to do this. And when your chief fills out the form, and I have a copy of the form here, he will then be able to schedule an ISO review. So if Alex has not filled out that paperwork, and that's something I didn't get to because I did it after I talked to him, if he hasn't filled out that paperwork, he's not gonna get a review, no matter what anybody says. According to her, paperwork has to come before the review period.
And just so you know, the chief sent a text that he has filled out the paperwork and they're coming next week.
He said he had it's scheduled for 2018.
He said they're coming to meet with him next week.
Oh, next week? Okay, we'll have to see.
He just sent
Okay,
a,
well,
Ed, do you wanna further, maybe sit in on that meeting? If you can find out when that meeting is, I said,
Sure, if I
you
can
gotta
do
have
that.
a handle on it here.
See what that time is, just to get
You know,
the
get
information.
in contact with the chief, find out when that meeting, ask him if you can sit in on that meeting and just to sit there and listen to
Yeah.
what's going on.
I'd like to ask the ISO investigator why we've sat there since 2010. Because I know for a fact, when we hired that contract group, and we had, I can't remember his name.
McGrath.
McGrath, well, the fire guy.
Oh,
Stedman.
Stedman, Bob Stedman. He worked with me at the end of that, when you guys were all, when I was wrapping up the fire department. He gave me all the documentation that was needed to close it out and make sure all the proper people filed all the proper paperwork. Pat took care of everything related to, the paramedic and all that. I know I talked to ISO at that time because that was one of the things on his list. And in talking to ISO, I talked to somebody that said they would take care of that with the chief. Well, I assumed by that point it was gonna be done. Apparently, nothing happened at that point in time, but yeah, I will call Alex and try to help him get through this one.
If he's got a problem with that,
I'll come back.
tell him to call me,
Okay,
because I'd like to have you there.
no problem.
I think the town board feels the same way. I'd like to have it
I don't think it'd be a problem.
with the town, you know, okay.
My relationship with him is okay.
who is ISO exactly?
Insurance Standards Organization or something
They do the
like
ratings.
that. Well, ISO nationally is, the quality rating for the world. International Standards Organization. Now, I don't know why, you know, I know it from manufacturing. ISO from insurance, I have no idea, but they certify fire departments for the insurance companies. And they're kind of cocky.
That issue
Yeah.
came up.
Yeah, I'll call Alex.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Ed?
That's it.
Bill?
I just had one minor thing. Karen had emailed us, concerning the stormwater, seminar in Madison around the middle of the month, that I had volunteered for that. And then we got the follow-up email stating that it's primarily gonna deal with erosion control.
Yeah.
So I might as well back out. That's
Yeah,
not gonna do anyone any good right now. I thought it was gonna be encompassing the whole
Give and take?
thing, yeah.
When have you ever known them to give? And take.
That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to note for the record, in the minutes, I'll indicate that I did email you the incident from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department investigation on the dog issue that, I just wanted to put that in the minutes, that was emailed to you. And also wanted to reflect you that the town did get the $13,914 increase in road aids. You already budgeted, we got that letter, but it was reaffirmed and you were copied on that. And then also wanted to thank all the residents for all their generous donations to the homeless veterans. I'm going to take that all in on Monday, but just wanted to give a big shout out to all our residents for all their wonderful contributions. It's always heartwarming to go down to Union Grove and see the vets, and they're so appreciative of whatever we do. So thank you, Vernon residents, thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Finance. Accounts payable. A lot of refunds in here.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a majority. Not as bad as other years.
That's a lot less, don't you think?
Karen, just one quick question. I was gonna call you and I forgot about it, but we get about 5 bills in here for the town of Vernon. We pay property tax, or we pay taxes too?
Nobody's exempt from stormwater charges.
Oh,
Residents all get their charge, and churches, anybody. The county, in fact, Waukesha County, the first year we sent them bills, they were very upset. But everyone gets stormwater.
They were upset? Too bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they thought they were,
They thought they-
yeah. Everybody pays stormwater,
Who
so
used to pay that?
the
The town used to pay the county's bill?
No, I don't know what happened before I came, but I know that they get a bill, just like we get a bill.
I don't remember seeing us get taxed.
And they weren't too happy either when they got the bill, but, I mean, if you're gonna apply a law as the federal
Has to
government.
be done equal and
Yeah, yeah.
fairly.
Yep, so,
Pay their fair share too.
mhm.
I wonder if they're the only ones, that we build, I wonder if other communities maybe have not built them.
No, even tax exempt, organizations, that charge is on their tax bill also.
Stormwater.
Mhm. And it's based upon non-pervious soil, so. So you can tell residents that we're not even exempt either.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I had my questions answered earlier, so I'll make a motion, we approve payment for batch 2018, 0104 in the amount of $62,534.52.
I'll second
Any more discussion?
Just one item, I've asked Karen, just so the board knows, to put a note on the staff meeting to question clothing. I saw a bill in here for clothing for DPW, safety clothing. When I saw the policy on that first time, it said boots. I didn't see anything about clothing at all. So we may have to modify that policy to include, they all got the colored safety clothing now, highlighted and all that. Probably should be identified so we don't question it when we see the bills come in. Karen's gonna put that on staff meeting.
I did, and I put it in a more general aspect, just in case you wanted to expand it, any other departments. When I talked to Tom.
What are you talking about revising it? Are you talking about?
We should identify what we're paying for. Because when I look at bills and I saw that, I called Karen and I said, this is not boots, I'm looking at, different kind of clothing. Is that something we do? I didn't know.
You're talking about identify that in their job description or identify that?
No, the policy, there's a policy, I saw it
Right.
one time.
He asked
That
for a line item
authorizes
on the
them
budget, a line item like
to
the
get
fire
so much
department.
Pay so much for
We're
boots.
talking about two different things here. You're talking about line item for the budget for having
That's
it
what
in
he-
there. You're talking about identifying first.
Well, yeah, we should identify
And then
first,
we
and
can
then
put
there
it
should
as
be
a
a line
budget
item,
item
budget
in
supporting that.
2019 budget.
Right,
Okay, so we
Well,
got
that
two
wasn't
things.
stated to me. He had said,
Yeah.
is that in the budget? And I said, yes, it is.
yeah.
He said, where is it? And it's under operations of the DPW.
And that-
Is that something that you could look up and get that for staff so we can read it?
I don't know if they have a safety clothing. It's never been an issue.
I saw a policy, I swear I did, talking about the boots.
There is,
It allowed a certain, it was a policy, board
We
policy.
talked about that budget here.
there was a motion made on it
Yep. So there's something supporting paying them for boots.
because they used
I
to,
don't believe there's anything that goes beyond that, and if we're gonna do these, we really ought to know what's authorized, I thought, so
Right.
I thought I'd bring it up. Cause the trouble again.
No, that's good.
Sent to your room without.
Oh, I know, I didn't get lunch.
Seen up there?
Hey, you lost.
I live without
All
it.
right, so it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? So you're okay with that going to staff and we'll talk about it more at staff?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Manual checks, we have one.
it's the deposit for the new phone system, the amount of $3,482. And I also under manual checks, not that they're ready, but just wanted the board to know that There's probably gonna be a timing issue, manual checks to the school district, which is probably a little over 5 million. That's gonna come up before the 15th, so just so that you know, those settlement checks have to be paid by state statute by a certain time, so those will be manual checks also. But they're not, we haven't got the settlement amounts yet,
That's something that comes every year.
Yeah.
but they're big,
Yeah.
And you would have last
They're the three biggest checks that we write.
especially with one to go school, that, yeah, that's like a 5 million.
Yeah.
But it would need a motion for the phone.
I'll make a motion to,
Approve?
approve the manual check in the amount of $3,842.
I'll second
38, 42,
It's-
34, 80.
38,
Yeah,
42.
it's 3482.
34, 82.
No, no, 38, 42.
Oh, I'm sorry.
42. Yeah.
Okay. I get that right here.
Want a copy, Tom? Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got it.
I got it.
get one. Oh,
It's
You
in
didn't
here
get one?
somewhere.
We color coded it.
here it is.
See, it's on
It's in your
salmon.
hand, right? Left,
It's on your hand.
That's the one,
That's mine. That's mine.
Oh.
Don't forget you.
Well, then you're, I didn't know.
It says Gary on it.
I stole it from him, he wasn't looking.
Is there a second on that?
Yeah, I second.
Yeah,
Ed? Okay. Any more discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Aging accounts.
Boy, it's really shrunk.
yep.
Holy moly, what happened? People
Well-
paid up?
We put a little disclaimer indicating the wishes of the board that if this wasn't paid by a certain time, the board would discuss possible legal action or, so, and that one in the beginning, that's an issue, it's a corporate issue, but that'll be resolved, that big one, that'll be resolved shortly. And some of these some are
Yeah.
newer charges, but,
Still got one person hasn't paid his damage, but the other one coughed it up.
That's
the other two, there were two other,
And they coughed it up.
Mhm. And so did Mr. Simons.
Did we have Macy send them a letter or something?
No, I did.
You did.
A very nice letter.
Threatening, threatening but nice?
Yeah.
I just told him what you said, but in a nice way.
Oh,
I don't remember last meeting, I brought this up, and I don't remember if we were gonna put this on our staff agenda or not, discussion as to whether or not people should post a letter of credit or something.
Yeah, it's on there. The
It is on
deposit,
there.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's on there for
Okay. I
discussion.
didn't remember.
Yep, it's on there.
Okay, good.
Okay. Any more comments on the aging accounts? Okay, moving on to approval of the minutes. Board minutes, we'll take December 13th first.
I had just one thing on December 13th, 4th paragraph from the bottom. Talks about Plan Commission Town Board for the approval of selling 5 automobiles for his 2 businesses. I think we should put per year in there. It is stated later.
oh, yeah.
It's clarified later, but right here I think it should be.
But this was his comment. This is what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
I
is,
misread that.
yeah, that's his,
Gotcha.
right. You cleaned it up when it
Okay.
came to the
I'm
Plan
sorry,
Commission.
you're right.
report.
That was
Yeah.
all.
That was all.
I'll make a motion to accept, December 13th, unapproved proceedings of the Vernon Town Board of Supervisors and Planning Commission with the changes, to 1-4 as modified.
It was already changed before.
Oh, we don't have to do
Yep.
it then? Okay. As written, how's that?
Perfect.
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain because I was gonna be late, but by the time you guys were done, I wasn't even done with what I was doing yet, so I never was able to make it to that meeting.
But your intent was there, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I intended to get there, but they were quick. So, 4 yes, 1 abstention. December 21st.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 21st.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind if under my announcements, I just announced that Supervisor Jeff Millies and Supervisor Ed Moline are unchallenged for the 2 supervisor seats in the town of Vernon. So from a local standpoint, we won't have a primary in December, but we probably will because of county and state. But I just wanted to let them know and congratulate Supervisor Jeff Millies and Supervisor Ed Moline on a hard-fought race.
Would you put it out to the public that write-ins are still
Accepted?
I put that in the newsletter, but nobody reads it.
Actually, you can't have a write-in, can you, unless they come in and
It has to be done
have
different.
to be signed
Yeah.
up for it.
They won't be on the ballot, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they won't be on the ballot, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a true write-in because your name's not gonna be
Yeah.
in, but they can write it in.
When's the party?
That's the first thing he asked.
All right, next meeting date for town board will be January 18th at 6 p.m. Public comments, are there any more public comments? Any public comments? Let the record show that there were no public comments for the second one, adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Third.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We adjourned at 6:52.